Your life right now is a direct reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's not just a quote. It's a brutal reality that most people never want to face. And as we approach 2025, this truth becomes more critical than ever. Look around you. Those recurring patterns in your life. Those dreams that never seem to materialize. Those goals that always stay just out of reach. They're not random. They're directly connected to your inner circle. The people you text daily, call regularly, and meet for coffee aren't just passing time with you. They're shaping your future. But here's what makes this video different. We're not going to give you the same recycled advice about toxic people that you've heard 1,000 times before. Instead, I'm going to reveal 5 specific types of people who are silently sabotaging your success. And most of them don't even realize they're doing it. The scariest part? These aren't your enemies. They're not the people who openly wish you harm. They're often your friends, your confidants, sometimes even your family members. They're the ones who think they're protecting you, supporting you, or helping you stay realistic. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who these 5 types are. You'll understand why keeping them close is costing you more than you realize. Most importantly, you'll learn why removing them from your inner circle before 2025 isn't just helpful. It's absolutely necessary for your growth. This isn't about being cruel or cold. It's about making conscious choices that align with your future, not your past. Some of you will recognize these people immediately. Others might be shocked to realize you've been surrounding yourself with them all along. The next few minutes could completely change how you view your relationships and potentially alter the entire trajectory of your life. Let's dive into the first type of person you need to distance yourself from immediately. First on our list stands a category so prevalent yet often overlooked: energy vampires. Not mythical creatures from folklore, but real individuals who unconsciously drain every ounce of vitality from those around them. Each interaction with an energy vampire leaves a distinct pattern. Walking away from a simple conversation feels like running a marathon. A quick coffee meetup depletes mental reserves for hours. These individuals don't steal energy through obvious negativity. Their method is far more subtle and insidious. One hallmark of energy vampires lies in their constant need for attention and emotional support, while rarely, if ever, reciprocating. They masterfully turn every discussion toward their problems, their challenges, their needs. Minutes turn into hours as they unleash an endless stream of personal drama, leaving others emotionally exhausted. What makes energy vampires particularly dangerous is their ability to make others feel guilty for setting boundaries. They've perfected the art of emotional manipulation, often responding with phrases like, "I thought you cared," or "I guess I can't count on anyone," when faced with any limitation on their demands. Most concerning is how these relationships create a slow but steady decline in personal momentum. Projects take longer to complete. Creative inspiration becomes harder to find. Motivation wanes. Yet because this decline happens gradually, many fail to connect it with their energy-draining relationships. Warning signs appear in subtle ways: feeling inexplicably tired after phone calls, dreading message notifications from certain people, or experiencing anxiety before scheduled meetings. Physical symptoms might even manifest: headaches, tension, or an unexplained desire to sleep more than usual. Breaking free requires recognition and decisive action. Energy vampires rarely change their behavior patterns, as their need for emotional energy sustains them. They've spent years perfecting their techniques, often unaware of their impact on others. Success and personal growth demand high levels of energy, focus, and emotional resilience. Every moment spent with an energy vampire represents lost opportunities for productive work, meaningful relationships, or personal development. Their presence creates an invisible ceiling on achievement, limiting potential through constant energy depletion. Moving into 2025, protecting personal energy becomes non-negotiable. Success leaves clues, and one clear pattern among high achievers is their careful curation of energetic exchanges. They instinctively recognize that personal energy represents their most valuable resource, more precious than time or money. Identifying and distancing from energy vampires isn't about blame or judgment. It's about making conscious choices that honor personal boundaries and preserve vital energy for pursuits that matter most. Growth demands energy, and that energy must be protected at all costs. Nothing kills dreams faster than spending time with chronic complainers. These individuals have mastered one specific skill: finding problems in every situation, opportunity, or circumstance life presents. Weather's too hot, they complain. Weather's too cold, they complain. Got a promotion? They'll talk about increased responsibilities. Taking a vacation? They'll focus on travel stress. Their ability to find fault in anything becomes almost impressive, if it weren't so damaging to everyone around them. Most chronic complainers don't recognize their behavior as negative. In their minds, they're simply being realistic or honest. They've developed such a habitual pattern of complaint that it's become their default response to life. Every conversation turns into a litany of what's wrong with the world, their job, their relationships, or their circumstances. What makes this personality type particularly dangerous is how their mindset becomes contagious. Research shows that negative thinking patterns can spread through social networks like a virus. Spend enough time with chronic complainers, and suddenly their perspective starts feeling normal. Problems appear larger, solutions seem scarcer, and opportunities fade into obscurity. Negativity bias begins to take root in your own thinking. Instead of seeing possibilities, you start spotting potential problems. Rather than focusing on solutions, attention shifts to obstacles. This subtle shift in perspective can devastate personal growth and professional success. Chronic complainers often mask their behavior as critical thinking or analytical skills. They pride themselves on pointing out flaws and potential issues. However, there's a crucial difference between constructive criticism and chronic complaining. One aims to improve situations, while the other simply dwells on problems without seeking solutions. Success requires maintaining a solution-focused mindset. Every challenge presents an opportunity for growth, innovation, or learning. But chronic complainers rob us of this perspective, replacing it with a problem-centric worldview that paralyzes progress and stifles creativity. Most insidiously, chronic complainers often position themselves as friends who keep it real. They claim they're protecting others from disappointment or false hopes. In reality, they're projecting their own fears, limitations, and resigned attitude toward life onto everyone around them. Moving toward 2025, success demands the ability to spot opportunities, create solutions, and maintain resilience in face of challenges. Chronic complainers make all three impossible. Their constant negativity clouds judgment, drains motivation, and erodes the optimism necessary for sustained success. Breaking free from chronic complainers doesn't mean adopting blind optimism. Instead, it means choosing to surround yourself with individuals who acknowledge challenges while focusing on solutions. People who see problems as puzzles to solve rather than burdens to bear. Those who choose action over complaint, progress over perfection. Growth demands the environment where possibilities outweigh problems, where solutions receive more attention than complaints, where challenges spark creativity rather than criticism. Progress blockers masquerade as voice of reason in a world of dreamers. These individuals have perfected the art of killing ambition under the guise of protecting others from disappointment. While energy vampires drain vitality and chronic complainers spread negativity, progress blockers specifically target dreams, goals, and aspirations. Most dangerous about progress blockers is their seemingly logical approach. They don't attack dreams directly. Instead, they plant seeds of doubt wrapped in rational-sounding concerns. Starting a business in this economy, they ask. Moving cities at your age, they question. Each comment carries a subtle message. Stay small, play safe, avoid risk. Words like realistic, practical, and sensible pepper their vocabulary. Progress blockers weaponize common fears and societal norms to maintain status quo. They've mastered phrases that sound helpful but hide deeper resistance. I'm just concerned about you, or someone needs to play devil's advocate. Behind every progress blocker lies a complex web of personal fears and unfulfilled dreams. Often, they've settled for less in their own lives, making peace with mediocrity. Seeing others pursue bold goals threatens their carefully constructed justifications for playing it safe. Progress blockers excel at finding reasons why things won't work. They'll cite statistics about failure rates, share stories about others who tried and lost everything, or point out every possible obstacle. Their arguments sound reasonable, even caring, making their influence particularly potent. What separates progress blockers from genuine well-wishers is their persistence. While true friends might express initial concerns but ultimately support your decisions, progress blockers never relent. Each small win triggers new warnings. Every step forward prompts fresh concerns. Success requires momentum, consistent forward motion despite obstacles and setbacks. Progress blockers act like human speed bumps, forcing constant slowing, questioning, and second-guessing. Their influence creates analysis paralysis, where overthinking replaces action. Most insidious aspect of progress blockers lies in their ability to make others question their own judgment. Through constant questioning and subtle undermining, they create self-doubt where confidence once existed. Dreams that once felt exciting start seeming foolish. Goals that sparked passion begin appearing unrealistic. Moving into 2025, growth demands bold action and unwavering belief in personal potential. Progress blockers make both impossible. Their presence creates an environment where playing small feels safe and dreaming big seems dangerous. Breaking free from progress blockers means recognizing that all great achievements started as unrealistic goals. Every innovation faced skeptics. Every success story included characters who said it couldn't be done. Growth requires space where dreams can breathe, where ambition finds encouragement, where potential meets possibility. Protecting personal vision becomes non-negotiable for anyone serious about success. Progress blockers must be identified, their influence recognized, and their presence in inner circles carefully evaluated. Minutes turn into hours, hours into days, and suddenly months have passed without significant progress toward goals. Time wasters represent perhaps life's most dangerous relationship category because their impact often goes unnoticed until irreplaceable time has slipped away. Unlike other toxic personalities, time wasters rarely appear harmful at first glance. They're often fun, entertaining, and seemingly supportive. They'll readily agree to coffee meetings that stretch from planned 30-minute catch-ups into 3-hour sessions. Quick phone calls somehow transform into marathon conversations about nothing particularly important. Most dangerous aspect of time wasters lies in their ability to make unproductive activities feel productive. Hours spent discussing plans replace actual planning. Endless conversations about future projects substitute for real work. They excel at creating illusions of progress without actual forward momentum. Time wasters master the art of urgency without importance. Every situation becomes an emergency requiring immediate attention. Each random thought merits an instant call or message. Their chaos constantly interrupts focus, breaking concentration and derailing productive work sessions. Social media amplifies time wasters' impact exponentially. Random messages, pointless group chats, and endless digital interactions fragment attention throughout each day. What seems like just checking a quick message cascades into prolonged engagement with zero return on invested time. Particularly insidious about time wasters is how they normalize inefficiency. Under their influence, productivity standards gradually lower. 2-hour lunches become routine. Quick meetings regularly consume entire afternoons. Deadlines stretch, goals delay, and achievement constantly postpones. Success demands ruthless protection of time, life's only truly non-renewable resource. Every minute spent with time wasters represents lost opportunities for growth, learning, or meaningful progress. While energy can be replenished and focus can be regained, time once lost remains gone forever. Time wasters often disguise their impact through claims of maintaining work-life balance or preventing burnout. They position productive focus as too intense or unnecessarily strict. Their influence slowly erodes disciplined time management, replacing it with reactive, unstructured days. Moving toward 2025, competitive advantages increasingly depend on focused execution and efficient use of time. Time wasters make both impossible. Their presence creates environments where distractions dominate, interruptions rule, and meaningful work becomes increasingly difficult. Breaking free requires honest assessment of how time actually gets spent versus how it should be invested. Success leaves clear patterns. High achievers invariably demonstrate masterful time management. They recognize time as their most precious asset and carefully guard it against wasteful relationships. Protecting time doesn't mean eliminating all leisure or becoming antisocial. Instead, it means choosing when to engage, setting clear boundaries, and ensuring recreational time serves its intended purpose rather than randomly consuming precious hours better invested elsewhere. Recognizing and distancing from time wasters becomes essential for anyone serious about achieving significant goals. Their presence creates invisible barriers to success, limiting potential through constant dilution of focused effort. People who dodge responsibility leave a distinct trail of chaos in their wake. While energy vampires drain vitality and time wasters consume hours, responsibility avoiders systematically destroy something even more precious: personal standards and accountability. Most striking about responsibility avoiders is their masterful ability to shift blame. Nothing stands as their fault. External circumstances, other people's actions, or simple bad luck explain away every failure or missed commitment. They've developed an arsenal of excuses that flow seamlessly into any situation. Life around responsibility avoiders becomes an endless cycle of unreliability. Plans fall through at last minute. Commitments vanish when most needed. Projects collapse due to missed deadlines. Yet somehow, they manage to maintain an air of innocence through carefully crafted explanations and justifications. Particularly dangerous about these individuals is how their behavior patterns slowly influence others' standards. Excellence becomes negotiable. Deadlines turn flexible. Commitments lose meaning. Through constant exposure to lowered standards, personal expectations begin to slip. Success demands ruthless accountability, first to oneself, then to others. Responsibility avoiders make both impossible. Their presence creates environments where excuses become acceptable, where mediocrity finds justification, where personal growth stagnates under the weight of uncompleted goals. Most insidious aspect lies in how responsibility avoiders normalize failure. Missing targets becomes expected. Dropping commitments seems reasonable. Their influence slowly erodes the foundation of success: personal accountability. Every interaction reinforces subtle messages that standards don't matter, that excellence is optional. Moving toward 2025, achievement increasingly depends on consistent execution and reliable performance. Responsibility avoiders poison both. Their presence introduces unpredictability into every situation, making sustained progress nearly impossible. Breaking free requires recognition of how responsibility avoiders impact personal development. Their influence extends beyond mere unreliability. It shapes fundamental attitudes toward accountability, excellence, and personal growth. Every moment spent with responsibility, avoiders reinforces dangerous messages about acceptable standards. Success leaves clear patterns. High achievers invariably demonstrate strong personal accountability. They own their mistakes, learn from failures, and consistently deliver on commitments. Responsibility avoiders make maintaining such standards increasingly difficult through constant exposure to lowered expectations. Professional growth demands environments where excellence thrives, where commitments carry weight, where personal responsibility stands as non-negotiable. Responsibility avoiders create opposite conditions, spaces where mediocrity finds excuse, where reliability becomes optional, where growth stalls under accumulated justifications. Protecting personal standards means carefully evaluating relationships with responsibility avoiders. Their presence creates invisible barriers to success, limiting potential through constant erosion of accountability. Success requires surrounding oneself with individuals who raise standards, not those who systematically lower them. Recognizing and distancing from responsibility avoiders becomes essential for anyone serious about achieving significant goals. Their influence extends far beyond missed commitments or failed projects. It shapes fundamental attitudes toward personal excellence and accountability. Moving into 2025 demands more than just setting new goals or making fresh resolutions. Success requires surgical precision in choosing who stays in your inner circle. Each relationship either propels you forward or holds you back. There's no neutral ground in the pursuit of excellence. Throughout this video, we've uncovered 5 distinct personalities that secretly sabotage success. Energy vampires, who drain vital force through subtle emotional manipulation. Chronic complainers, whose negative worldview slowly poisons perspective and kills opportunities. Progress blockers, masters of dream-killing disguised as pragmatic advice. Time wasters, who steal irreplaceable hours under the guise of friendship. And responsibility avoiders, whose influence erodes personal standards and accountability. But identifying these personalities marks only the beginning. Real transformation demands courage. Courage to make difficult decisions, to have uncomfortable conversations, to prioritize growth over comfort. As we approach 2025, those unwilling to make these tough choices risk staying trapped in cycles of mediocrity and unfulfilled potential. Consider this. 1 year from now, your life will inevitably change. Those changes will either be by design or by default, by conscious choice or by passive acceptance. Today's decisions about who surrounds you will echo through every aspect of your future: career progression, personal growth, financial success, and even your daily happiness. Many watching this video already recognize these personalities in their lives. Perhaps there's an energy vampire draining your motivation daily. Maybe a chronic complainer slowly dims your optimism. Or possibly a progress blocker masquerading as a concerned friend. Recognition brings responsibility. Responsibility to act, to change, to grow. But removing these influences doesn't mean burning bridges or creating drama. Instead, it means consciously reducing exposure, setting firm boundaries, and gradually distancing yourself from their influence. It means choosing growth over comfort, potential over familiarity, excellence over mediocrity. Success leaves clues, and one clear pattern emerges. High achievers carefully curate their social circles. They understand that excellence isn't just about personal habits or individual choices. It's about the environment they create through their relationships. They recognize that mindset is contagious, standards are infectious, and success becomes exponentially easier when surrounded by the right people. As 2025 approaches, ask yourself, who truly deserves space in your inner circle? Which relationships genuinely support your growth? What personalities consistently lift your standards rather than lower them? These questions might feel uncomfortable, but comfort never catalyzed transformation. This message resonates differently for everyone watching. Some will recognize immediate changes needed in their social circles. Others might realize they've already begun this process unconsciously. Yet others might feel resistance, finding reasons why these changes seem impossible in their situation. Here's the brutal truth. Every excuse for keeping these 5 personalities in your life costs you something precious: energy, time, standards, dreams, or opportunities. Each justification for maintaining these relationships represents a conscious choice to limit your potential. If this video stirred something inside you, if it highlighted relationships that no longer serve your growth, take action now. Don't wait for a perfect moment or ideal circumstances. Growth happens through decisive action, not passive consideration. Before hitting that like button or moving to another video, pause for a moment. Take out your phone. Open your messages. Look at your recent calls. Who consistently appears? Who regularly influences your thoughts, decisions, and actions? These simple actions might reveal more than hours of contemplation. If you found value in these insights, support our mission to help others achieve their full potential. Hit that like button. It takes 1 second, but helps this message reach thousands more who need to hear it. Subscribe to our channel and activate notifications to access more content designed to accelerate your success. Remember, 2025 isn't just another year. It's an opportunity to completely transform your life through conscious choices about who influences your journey. Your future self will thank you for the difficult decisions you make today about who stays in your inner circle. Leave a comment below sharing which of these 5 personalities you're planning to distance yourself from first. Your insight might help others recognize similar patterns in their lives. Thank you for investing time in your growth by watching this video. Now it's time to take action. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, start making those crucial changes in your social circle. Your future success depends on the decisions you make today about who stays in your life tomorrow. Until next time, keep raising your standards and never settle for less than excellence in your relationships and your life.